And since spooky season is right around the corner, we thought it'd be fun to revisit this special presentation from the perspective of those who made it, including how it paid homage to earlier eras of horror movies. To expand on this is Werewolf by Night director Michael Giacchino.
For me, like, some of the scariest things I saw as a kid watching, all of these old movies on Creature Double Feature, that was big in Philadelphia area, were just the shadows of things. If you saw a shadow creep by a wall, whether it was a defined shadow of a particular creature or just an amorphous shape, that was always so much scarier than anything that you could literally show me on screen. And that's what I kept thinking about, was all of the, how do we do that? How do we embrace that idea? And also, it's like, if you have a werewolf movie, my whole thing was in the beginning, like, I don't want to see him until the very end of the movie. Like, I don't want it to be the kind of werewolf movie where you start out with him, he's in the middle, and then he's at the end. I said it should be a slow buildup to this point where you almost forget you're watching a werewolf movie. You almost forget that that's exactly what you're watching. You go, oh my God, I forgot. Yes, there's a werewolf in this too. So that's really what we were striving for, what I wanted. And I do know that when you get to the werewolf, though, it's like a whole level up. Right. And so you haven't been shown that already. You're not telling the same jokes twice. All of that, my love of everything that Sam Raimi has done and all of these Hammer films. I mean, all of this is just a giant mashup love letter to those movies, which I absolutely loved and lived on growing up.
That tribute to the horror masters that have come before him also helped shape the tone of the film. This included Michael and his team's approach to designing the look of the titular werewolf.
I remember as a kid seeing Werewolf of London and looking at those designs, and I could see the actor's face, even when he was the werewolf. That was something I wanted to embrace for what we were doing and do sort of an amalgam, do a mix where there's enough hair, but there's still also enough of the actor's face so that when he is doing everything he needs to do, all of this physical movement, we're never losing sight of who the actor is. I was afraid that if it was just all hair all the time, that's hard to relate to. But if you keep some of the human element of this character with us, we can relate to that much simpler, much easier. And I feel like it'll be scarier that way as well, because it's that much closer to who we are as people. And I knew lighting was on our side as well. So the other thing I didn't want to do with this character was just constantly have him in full light. I wanted it always to be in shadow or you're catching him because something just blew up or some taser just went off. You're catching the light of that, because those fragments of images are so much scarier than if we were to just have him in full light and allow you to see him all the time. I felt like just getting glimpses was the thing that horror is all about, right? Horror is all about